The font that you choose has the power to completely transform a design from one style or mood to another. And in this video, we're going to look at 3 designs and see what happens when the fonts are changed, with tips on then how to actually know what fits the right mood. And I also have a really cool resource for a website that helps you figure out what style is correct for your design. The first is McDonald's brand. Now, starting with the logo. So this font is a bold sans serif that shows a happy, light-hearted mood, which then fits with their mission to make delicious, feel-good moments easy for everyone. Sans serif fonts are used a lot for children's brands because serif fonts have this general feeling of being more conservative and sophisticated looking. So if we are to change it to a serif font, let's look at what would happen to the feel of the whole brand. All right, so first we're gonna take McDonald's and I'm gonna be making it into a serif typeface. So this is right now, it's this happy sans serif typeface and or font. And so what we're gonna do is I'm going to create a serif one. Okay, so it kind of gives it a very interesting look. Now I'm gonna see over here, I'm gonna make this Big Mac and all this also have that same typeface. And we're gonna start with this one though. So I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna put it into this Photoshop file. So this is giving it a little bit of a more elegant look, which is a bit odd for McDonald's. So you see this, little weird, right? It changes the mood of it. So now the colors obviously play a big part in the look of what a brand is, but the typeface you see has a lot of power in changing the mood. Now it looks like it is a bit of a higher end restaurant, but the colors also play a huge role. But since we're only looking at fonts right now, you can see how they change the feel a lot in themselves. The second brand we're going to take a look at is L'Oreal. They have a sans serif that is very elegant. This is where paying attention to what style each font falls into is super important. If you have the Adobe Creative Cloud, there's this awesome resource, which is Adobe Fonts, and you just go to Browse All Fonts, and you can choose if you want to have, let's say, sans serif and fun. So now it pulls up all the sans serif fun fonts that it has. So let's do this Asphalt, and I'm going to use Asphalt as the font for L'Oreal. Let's see how this looks. This is going to probably be very funny to see. Okay, so let's look at, we have this one is our new one. So different feel. This one almost looks like a kid's brand. Now I want to apply this same typeface and I'm gonna use it on their label. So let's see how this looks. So it gives this much more childish look, having this fun font there. So that's the difference. You can see we have that one and that one. So it's pretty funny how that works.
Nowadays, you see a lot of brands eliminating the serifs and replacing them with sans serif fonts. The reason for this is that with the rise of mobile apps, social media, and mobile email, brands actually then need their name to be recognizable on small devices, and serifs just tend to get lost on mobile. So when you're choosing a font for a brand, it's important that you are thinking with legibility on a large and a really small scale. The downside in moving from a serif to a sans serif is that the brands tend to lose character and they start looking very similar to each other. The third example we will look at is the brand Canon. As of now, this is a professional and trusted brand of cameras. Their slogan is "Delighting you always."
So we're gonna do something completely different, and we're gonna go to our Adobe fonts, and I'm gonna do a rough serif. So this is gonna be more rough, kind of more cowboyish, maybe a little bit even nostalgia, because cameras create photographs which has this memorable look. Now that's completely different from Canon's actual messaging. They're really about how to advance forward, delighting you always, but they're a lot more techie. So this is kind of an interesting take. Maybe we could even do a sans serif, which might have some more nostalgia, rough kind of vintage look. Like, let's do this one. Okay, so here we have our rough. So this is the new Canon. Now let's take that and let's look at it on their equipment. So you see how that changes the look of it? Let's try it on another one. So now it has more of this rough, kind of nostalgic, kind of vintage style to it, whereas before it was very clean, kind of more of a creative look to it because of the interesting typeface. So something to think about. You can see the dramatic difference that one font can do for a whole brand.
Now, as a note, the proper word to use when talking about fonts is typeface. This is overall the family of fonts, and a font is a specific style in the typeface. So you could say Montserrat is a typeface, but Montserrat regular or bold would be the fonts. But for the sake of this video, I am using the word font as this is the common word used for it. So there you have some examples of how to use fonts to evoke the right emotion and mood and have fun playing around with Adobe fonts. So if you want to find unique fonts that are not as well known or used, Creative Market is a great resource for some amazing font designers that put them up there and sell them. So where you can purchase those typefaces or fonts. And one last thing real quick before you go. YouTube has not been very nice to me or been showing my videos to that many of my subscribers, and I would love to help many more of my subscribers actually see my content. So would you be willing to like this video, write a comment of what you are getting out of it, as well as share it with other designers so that I can get YouTube to start sharing more of my tutorials. Thank you so very much, and thank you for being here. If there is any specific topic that you would like to learn more about, I would be so happy to hear about it in the comments. This video was actually inspired by one of you who suggested it, so I do listen to what you say. Okay, bye for now.